With no sign of slowing down, the epidemic of drug addiction and tragic consequence of overdose deaths in New Hampshire once again have voters asking about solutions. For some presidential candidates, stopping cartels by securing the southern border is a key strategy to save Americans from dangerous drugs.
When these ranchers get up in the morning, they get their coffee and they go see if anyone died crossing the fence. They pick up whatever little kids were left behind and turn them over to Border Patrol. When I talk to sheriffs, by 7 a.m. they've rounded up illegal immigrants, they turn them over to Border Patrol. Border Patrol documents them and releases them until their court date years from now. Then when I asked Border Patrol about their job, they said, "You want to know what we do? We're glorified babysitters. They don't let us do our job." 5 million illegal immigrants have crossed the border. But what you're talking about, more fentanyl crossed the border last year that would kill every single American. Number one cause of death of adults 18 to 49, fentanyl.
On my first day as president, I will sign an executive order to send National Guard to the southern border with the sole task of interdicting fentanyl. 110,000 overdose deaths last year. It is now the leading killer of men 18 to 34. And this poison, by the way, is being sent to us by the Chinese through the Mexican drug cartels. I would make it very clear to the president of Mexico, you've got 6 months to get those drug cartels under control. And if you don't, I will use the American military and the American intelligence community to bring those Mexican drug cartels under control.
While some candidates support the use of military force, others propose a less aggressive approach to solving the drug problem and stabilizing the border.
My opinion, stop the drug war. It's actually not helping. The drug war is actually contributing to the violence because the people who are escaping unimaginable horror, this violence is created by the drug cartels. This is not helping. The drug war is not helping.
The U.S. intelligence budget, the entire U.S. intelligence budget, is $60 billion. That doesn't even include the amount of money you're making on fentanyl, right? So part of this, day one, stop treating everybody as an asylum seeker. Step two, work with these countries to create processing centers to make it easier to deport their people back to. Step three, make sure that we're getting operational control of our border using all kinds of technologies, whether it's a physical barrier or technology. Four, fuse our foreign aid with our national security objectives to address some of the root causes in these countries that are causing illegal immigration, lack of economic opportunity, extreme violence, and poverty. Right? These are all steps that don't require Congress voting on.
The candidates' proposals are as varied as the issues at the border are complex. But protecting Americans from the flow of dangerous drugs remains a leading issue for the 2024 election. In Manchester, Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.